Well, hello everyone, welcome back to my lab. Today I'm going to show you the new Arrma 4S trucks. Now, as always, before we get too much further, I just wanted to say thank you for taking a look at one of my videos, and I really do hope that this benefits you in some way. If it does, do please consider giving me a thumbs up and a subscription. That would really help me out. Now, with all that out of the way, what you see in front of you is the new Arrma 4S trucks. Now, these are a remake of the original versions that were pushed back for a number of reasons, COVID supply problems being on the top of that list. Now, unfortunately, these are a little late arriving. Reportedly, there was a quality control issue. Horizon did an amazing thing, which was pull them back, fix the quality control problem, and then release them. Now, in both of these models, they do feature two different color options, so both of these come in blue. Now, the Kraton comes in kind of this teal color. When you get this out in the sunlight, it's a little less teal and a little more kind of a real light green color, almost a pearlescent green color. Now, the Outcast 4S, in addition to that blue color, comes in this almost root beer color. It's a little bit pearlescent in its own right. Now, both of these models are a 4S model, and these can use two 2Ss, one 4S, or one 3S battery. First impression on these models is that they are very lightweight as compared to their 6S counterparts. So I think these will be plenty fast enough, and from a durability standpoint, I think they'll do pretty well also. Now, as compared to their original counterparts, they've fixed a lot of problems in these models. They have all metal gears throughout, as well as brand new drive shafts and a new motor mount assembly. Now, getting a look at the Kraton's dimensions, they are going to be 17.5 inches wide with a ground clearance of 2 5/8 inches. The tire diameter is right at 6 inches, and the track width here is 17.5 inches. Now, the Outcast dimensions are almost identical to the Kraton with two exceptions. Your track width is going to come in at 12 5/8 inches long, with your ground clearance at 2.5 inches. The tire diameter is still 6 inches, and the track width is still 17.5 inches. Another measurement worth mentioning is the distance between the wheelie bars. So as compared to the Outcast and the Kraton here, there is a 3-inch difference between the height of the wheelie bar. So you'll get a much larger wheelie out of the Outcast. Looking at the front end in both of these models, you can see the plastic capped metal body shocks, as well as those new drive shafts. And hidden underneath here are some sway bars, which you might not get a good look at here on camera, but trust me, they're there, as well as the adjustable tie rods. Looking at the rear end of the model, it has much the same treatment with the composite shock towers, metal shocks, and plastic caps, as well as those same drive shafts and sway bars. Now, when looking at the chassis, they are that composite chassis. Now, they do have this metal stiffener bar with this rubber shock absorber in here, which I really like. My one concern here is in this drive shaft, you see the single bearing support. Now, this is a long distance for this plastic shaft to go, so I almost wonder if there should have been two supports, one located here and one located here. Now, by contrast, in looking at the Outcast, it's treated much the same way with that metal bar in the composite chassis, as well as this rubber shock absorber right here. Now, that drive shaft is quite a lot shorter, so I think this will probably be okay from a length standpoint. It's more in the Kraton rather, that I worry about the length of that shaft. Comparing electronically, these are exactly the same. They both have the 2400 kV brushless motor and the 120 amp ESC. The radio is identical as well with the SLT3 transmitter and the Spectrum 315 receiver. And for a servo, they do have the S652 Metal Gear High Torque servo. Now, comparing the bumpers in these models, at first glance there's not a lot of difference. They both appear to have the same stretch across the vehicle. But looking at the Kraton that is on the right side here, you can see that almost circular mount. Now, that circular mount will form as a good shock absorber if you hit something, where on the Outcast it's mounted firm, so you're not going to see as much of that shock absorbing. Looking underneath, the chassis are much the same, the difference only being in the length between the Outcast and the Kraton. Well guys, as we put a wrap on this video, I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at the new Arrma 4S trucks. And if you've benefited from this video in any way, do please consider giving me a thumbs up and a subscription, as well as don't forget to hit that bell if you want to see my future content. Well, that'll wrap it up for today, and I hope to see you in the next one.